As we have already discussed about the strength of plate in a connection or in a joint, now we are going to discuss about the strength of bolt in that connection. For calculating the number of bolts in a connection, we should know what is the strength of one bolt. After knowing strength of one bolt, we can find out what is the total number of bolts that can be provided in a joint to transfer the load safely. So first let us see in how many ways a load is transferred through bolted connection or through bolts. So let us take two plates. These are two plates. I am connecting a bolt between these two plates. If a load will get transferred through bolt, then that load will go from head of bolt to the threaded part. And this bolt is connecting this member in two different ways. First is bearing. Bearing means it is not allowing the plate to move upward. It is not allowing the plates to move or to get separated from each other. To get separated. This is the force of bearing. If these two plates are connected through bolted connection, then this bolt will help them to connect or to remain in this position. It will not allow to get separated in this direction. This is known as bearing. It is giving force of bearing from top and bottom to the plate just to stick each other. Next type of load transfer or next type of strength which bolt is giving to the plate is shearing strength. Just now I have discussed about bearing strength. This is bearing strength. It's a type of clamping force. Second one is shearing strength. These two plates, because of tension or because of load acting on the plates, this two plate will try to separate or get slip on over them. This is slippage. This is if this two plate will get separated in like this. See what I am doing. I am just trying to slip them, one plate over the other, and this bolt is preventing me to separate these two plates parallel to the load direction. And this resistance which is offered by this bolt for preventing slippage of these two plates is known as shearing strength. So two types of strength we have discussed just now. One is bearing strength, which is a clamping force, and second one is shearing strength, which is preventing slippage of the two plates. So one is acting in perpendicular direction. Clamping force acts in perpendicular direction to clamp these two plates in place, and second one is a type of frictional force which is preventing these two plates from getting slipped over each other in parallel direction. So these two types of strength which bolt offers to the plate is our prime point of discussion today. So let us take the formula and what are the criteria for finding out shear strength and bearing strength of bolts. As you can see in my copy, here I have listed the two type of strengths of bolt. One is shear capacity, second one is bearing capacity. And as you have seen now, shear capacity, how a bolt gives its shear strength just to resist the slippage of two plates from each other. To find out that shear strength of bolt, a formula has been given in code book, and the formula is VNSB is equal to FU by root 3 into NN into ANB plus NS into ASB. It's a very simple formula. It is just looking like a long formula, but it is very simple to calculate. And in this formula, what the parameters denote? FU, as you all know, FU denotes ultimate tensile strength of bolt. Previously, in strength of plate, there was another FU, but that FU is strength of plate. But here in bolted, in calculating strength of bolt, this FU denotes the strength of bolt, ultimate strength of bolt. N means number. N means number of shear planes intersecting by threads. What is this? Number of planes intersecting by threads. See, I am taking the two plates again. If I am connecting two plates with each other, then I have connected two plates. Now, how many planes are coming through the thread of bolt or through the shank of bolt? Only one plane. I have already discussed in previous classes. If two plates has been connected, then one plane of shear is coming between these two plates or is coming through the bolt shank. If I am going to connect three plates, then what will happen? How many shear planes will come under the bolt shank? 1 and 2. So it's an example of double shear. Previous one was the example of single shear. Normally every lap joint or the joint which has been made in by overlapping the member, in such type of connections one shear plane comes under the bolt. And normally in butt joint means when two plates are joined parallel side by side, then for establishing the connection we take one more cover plate and then we join those plates through the cover plate. They are not connected directly, but a connection for connection cover plate is required. So this is the manner how a butt connection is established. See, so here I have connected these two plates through butt joint, but now you can see still there is one shear plane. So where double shear will come? If I will take two cover plates to join these two plates, then only I can find a case of double shear. Now you can see this is a case of double shear. Here there is one shear plane and below this there is another shear plane. So in lap joint normally we find, in lap joint and in single cover butt joint we find single shear, and in case of double cover butt joint we usually find double shear. So NN and NS are the number of shear planes which are not getting intersected by threads. As we know, a bolt has two parts. I will show you the diagram of a bolt. See, a bolt has two parts in its shank. One is a plain shank where there are no threads. Another is the threaded portion of the shank. So this is plain shank and this is threaded portion of the shank. So while connecting the members, what are the number of planes which are coming under this shank and what are the number of planes which are coming under this thread? That is NN and NS. So when we are connecting the bolt, if this plane is coming under the shank or if this plane is coming under the thread, that is known as number of planes coming through shank and going through the thread of the bolt. In double cover butt joint, usually this shank one plane goes through the shank of bolt and another plane goes through the thread of bolt. So NN for two bolts, for one bolt NN is equal to 1 and NS is equal to 1. But for two bolts, because here I have connected two bolts, so NN is equal to 2, number of planes coming under the shank is 2 and number of planes coming under the thread is also 2. So this is how number of shear planes are calculated. And then ANB and ASB are, ASB is nominal plane shank area of the shank of bolt. The bolt's shank is rounded. Shank of bolt is rounded, as you all know and you have also seen in my diagram. The shank and thread both are rounded. ASB means this area of shank and ANB means area of this thread. So if I will take a cross section and I will see from the top, then this will give me a circle. And what is the area of a circle? Area of circle is pi by 4 d square. So this shank has an area of pi by 4 d square, diameter of this shank. Pi by 4 d square is the area of this shank. And what is the area of this threaded portion? This area is similar for the thread portion also, but because a groove is made in the threaded portion, the area is decreased by 78%. Remember, the area of threaded portion is decreased by 78% from the area of this shank. Because bolt is even, bolt is continuous from the top to bottom, but because threads are made, because grooves are made in this threaded portion, the area is decreased by 78%. So gets decreased by 22%. So what is the area of this shank? It is only 78% of this area of shank. If the total area of the shank is ASB, then area of this thread is 78% of ASB. See, 78% of ASB, or it is 0.78 of ASB. This is how ASB and ANB are calculated. ASB is nominal plane shank area, which is equal to pi by 4 d square. D square is the diameter, nominal diameter of the bolt. And A and B is the net tensile area at threads, and it is taken as 0.78 of ASB. So we have gone through everything, every parameter which are included in this formula. And see, we always try to factorize the values in limit state method of design. We always factorize the strength of members, and also we factorize the stress or the load which is coming from outside. So after factoring, this is nominal strength, this is not design strength. Nominal strength means which has not been factorized. So this strength has not been factorized. For factorizing this strength, we will have to divide gamma MB, and after dividing gamma MB, I am getting the design strength, and the design shear strength is V DSB. This is V NSB. I will get V DSB, which is equal to Fu by root 3 gamma MB whole into this value. You can also find it in code book. In code book, the connection chapter is given in page number 73. In connection chapter itself, the formula for VNB, VNSB and VDSB has been given. Here you can see, you can find out the shear capacity of bolt. The formula is given as VDSB, shear capacity is equal to VNSB by gamma MB. And VNSB has a formula Fu by root 3 whole into NN into ANB plus NS into ASB. It is given simply in the code book. Second formula for calculating shearing strength, for calculating the bolt strength is bearing strength of bolt. Bearing strength, as you have already seen, bearing strength tries to clamp the two plates, and this strength can be found from this equation, which is also given in code book. Bearing capacity of bolt, this bearing capacity is equal to VNPB. It is symbolized in VDPB. VDSB means shear capacity, VDPB means bearing capacity, and VTPB is equal to VNPB by gamma MB, and VNPB is equal to 2.5 kb dt Fu. kV is also given in this code book. What is kb, what is d, what is t, what is Fu, everything has been described in this code book. And let us first discuss about dt and Fu. D is the nominal diameter of the bolt. Diameter of bolt is normally taken as 20, 22 and like this, and T is the summation of thickness of connected plate experiencing bearing stress in the same direction if the bolts are counter shrunk. The thickness of the plate minus 1, normally T is the thickness taken as a summation of thickness of both the plates which you are connected, where you are connecting. So T is the summation of thickness of both the plates, and D is the nominal diameter of the plate. What is FUB and FU? In the formula of KB, in the formula of KB, KB is the smaller of E by 3D0, P by 3D0 minus 0.25, FUB by FU and 1. Out of these four values, whichever is smaller, that is taken as kb. So in E by 3d0, E is the end distance, as you have already taught what is E, what is P. P is the pitch distance, you know. D0 is the diameter of hole, D is the diameter of bolt, and D0 is the diameter of hole. FUB and FU. FUB is the tensile ultimate strength of bolt, and simply FU is ultimate strength of plate. So this is the procedure for calculating shear strength and bearing strength of bolt. Now a confusion has come that there are two strengths of bolt. So which strength will be taken as the final strength of bolt? So the answer is the minimum, because we always try to consider the minimum strength of member and maximum load from outside. In limit state method, we always take less strength of member and more stress from outside. So out of this two strength of bolt, we always take the minimum one for the as the strength of bolt, and that minimum strength of bolt is known as bolt value. Bolt value is minimum of shear capacity and bearing capacity. One more thing I have skipped here, that is reduction factors. See, if shear capacity, we are measuring the shear capacity, but this capacity, this strength also gets affected by different types of factors. First is long joint. Long joint means if you have given bolts for a very long distance, then that also affects the strength, that decreases the strength. So LJ, long joint, let us take the length of joint. Length of joint is LJ. So if LJ is connected, here code book gives the specification that if the length of joint LJ containing more than 2 bolts, that is the distance between the first and last bolt of the joint measured in the direction of load transfer, exceeds 15D, 15 times its diameter, then the value of shear strength will be decreased by a factor known as beta LJ. If the length of joint is exceeding the value 15D, then you have to reduce this strength of shear strength of bolt. And how you will reduce? Just by multiplying a factor. That factor is beta LJ, and the formula has been given in the code book. Second reduction factor which is reducing the shear strength is large grip length. That means if you are connecting two plates, suppose here you have connected how many plates? How many planes are coming in the connection? 1 and 2. That means you have connected 3 layers. 1, 2 and 3. You have connected 3 layers. Suppose I am increasing the layers. I am going to give a very large amount of layers. Suppose I am connecting this plate also. I am connecting again this plate. Again this. So how many layers has now come to the connection part? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plates has been connected through a single bolt. So imagine what will be the length of grip the bolt has to go through. So for this large grip also, a bolt will reduce its strength. For getting more grip length, this bolt will give you lesser strength. So code book specifies when grip length is equal to the total thickness of the connected plate. What is the grip length? Which the bolt has to connect, the total thickness of the members which are getting connected through that bolt. If that length is exceeding 5 times the diameter, 5 into diameter of bolt, if the grip length is exceeding 5 times the diameter of bolt, then you have to reduce again the shear strength. By how much value? The factor has been given as beta LG, and the formula has been given in the code book. So this is the second reduction factor. Third reduction factor is packing plate. Suppose I have connected these members, and here what happened that while connecting these members, one plate has a smaller thickness and another plate has larger thickness. Suppose I am putting my finger here and I am connecting these plates. So what happened? This plate, this part is getting gap. This part has a gap. Because of this gap, the connection will not be established safely. There will be some slendering here, and to just nullify this gap, I am going to give one more plate just for packaging this gap, just to filling of this gap, I am giving one more plate here. So I have now connected these two plates by giving some more packing plates, and because of this packing plate again the grip length has been increased. So because this grip length has been increased by introducing packing plates, the shear strength will again get reduced. So if you have used packing plates, then you will have to reduce the shear strength by one more factor, that is beta pk, and that beta pk has been given as the formula 1 minus 0.0125 tpk, thickness of packing plate. And here it has been specified that if the packing plate has been given in excess of 6 mm, then only you will have to introduce this reduction factor. So these are 3 reduction factors which are multiplied with shear capacity of bolt. If all these factors are required, then multiply with the shear strength, otherwise you are not going to decrease the shear strength, you can take it as it is. So this is the procedure how strength of bolt is calculated.